Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Hey John Boy Gaming. Hope you are well and all is well where you are in the world. Thank you so much for watching this video today on our gameplay and review of the bus from TML-Studios. Now, if you don't know what the bus is, basically is the next generation of bus simulator is what it's classed as. Now, as someone that's played Fernbus, which is also a TML Studio product and game, I was really keen and excited to see this game and see what it had to offer. So we got access to the early access edition of the game, which obviously does come with some issues. Most of them are actually listed on the page here, which are just basically stuff on, as you would imagine with any early access games, there is always glitches, issues, bits and pieces that are wrong with the game, but they are sorting them. This is more, early access games are more for us, the gamer, to give feedback to TML and the developers. So you can give feedback throughout the whole gameplay on what you think and what you experience during the game. So it's really good and a nice way to get feedback from people that they need the feedback from people that play the game on a day-to-day basis. So anyway, this is the main menu that you get onto on the bus. A lot of it, as you see, is not available yet. So economy, this is going to be, fingers crossed, a ability to manage a bus company. So you'll have a number of buses, some drivers, and you will make money from those drivers and buses. That's a really nice addition. Now, you can do that type of thing in Euro Truck Simulator 2, and it works really well, and I like it a lot, and I think it adds a lot to a simulation game. Multiplayer is not available yet. That will be an opportunity, fingers crossed, for you to play with your friends, to play with other people online, and complete tasks together. Your mods, obviously, we're expecting that there will be a mods addition to this, where you can add mods, change liveries, add different vehicles, all that good stuff that you can do with a lot of simulation games now. Again, a lot of these three especially, no idea when they're going to be developed and when they are due out. There is no kind of mention of that at the moment. I suppose what they're trying to do is just get the basics right of the free play, and then they will move on to these separate sections as soon as they can. So let's get into a game and see what you think. So currently on the bus there is one map, which is Berlin. So there's just the one map. There is talk about more maps coming out, obviously in the future. Again, unsure time frames of when more maps will be coming out. There is two buses. We have the 18-metre Scania Citywide LF and the 12-metre Scania Citywide LF. Today we're going to be driving in the 12-metre for this review. I have done the 18-metre as well a little early this morning. Both very good, quite accurate in how they are pictured in the game, and both have pluses and negatives, and we can have a look at them when we're driving around in the 12-metre Scania Citywide on this game. So what we're going to do, these pretty much stay the same, the arcade modes. All of this is just basically settings in a nutshell. Our line and tour today is pretty much, we can do this one as a bit of a change because we did that first one. We're going to do Route 2, which is here. We'll set it today's date, which is the 13th of April, and we'll start at 9 AM. Really easy. Weather, dynamic, so you do get the choice of weather. You can pick what you like. I'm just going to keep it in dynamic. And we'll start. So, the gameplay on the bus, I will say to you now, before we get into it, is a little interesting. I don't really know what to say more than that. And the reasons are that obviously with this being an early access game, you're going to have glitches. The people, for example, or people in the game are very glitchy. They can sometimes get stuck in the bus. They can sometimes get stuck in each other. It's just a bit bizarre. But yeah, it's an early access game. So there we go. So this is where you start. This is on Route 2, which is a little bit different to Route 1. You start Route 1 at the Berlin main bus depot. We're in Route 2 at the moment, so a little bit of a different route. So this is interesting. So as you can see, we've got a free roaming section here where you're just coming up to the bus, you're doing your general checks of the bus, but you can see the people. I mean, it's not bad. These two women obviously look exactly the same, and that carries on throughout the game. You get multiple people, very limited dress sense. Dress sense. Talk like a bloody fashion designer. Very limited, like, difference in people and AI in the game. So yeah, that is one thing I would say. Well, let's get onto the bus. So this is our Scania citywide 12-meter passenger bus, as used by a lot of cities, a lot of companies in cities for passenger transport around built-up areas. I know they use them in the UK and pretty much everywhere in Europe, if not further afield as well. So anyway, let's get involved. So just to get in is a literal quick C. Click the C button, and all we need to do now, the doors will remain shut because we are starting our route. We come to let's have a look at the cockpit here and the driving position. So all of these buttons don't tend to work. It's hit and miss. The door buttons do, but you can just do that with a quick, simple. Actually, the doors close when you drive off. You don't actually need to press any buttons. But I've set my door lock, well, all doors to lock on D on the keyboard, so it's just a little bit easier. So all we do in the front here to get started is literally start. You put in your tour number, which is 5120. Dead nice and easy, and then just enter. That will then start up your computer. So this is used when you get some passengers that come and pay to you, and it's not really like there's no knowing who's going to pay and who's not. It's just random. I think the game just selects random people. They come up, they pay, and you just sort out in here. All these are releases for money, so when they come and pay, you take the change and you put it in there. We'll have a look when one does. But yeah, nice and simple. But this is it. I mean, we are in and ready to go, and as you can see on the map at the bottom right, we'll just take it off now and make our way. We'll make our way onto the allotted route. So we're actually going back on ourselves, I think. So we'll actually, I think, end up back at Berlin's main bus depot, I think is the plan. I think that's what it's trying to do. So in terms of driving, we have, I am using a controller at the moment, so it's a bit random and it's a bit sensitive. As you can see, the wheel, I'm only doing very small turns to the right and left, and it is very, I would say, sensitive is the word I'd use. It's sensitive, so that is a slight turn. But yeah, I think on an actual Logitech wheel or some sort of driving wheel on PC, it would be a lot more clearer and smoother, I would say. So, aim of the game, as you would imagine, is to collect passengers and take them on an allotted route, picking up passengers en route and getting to the final drop-off point, which is usually at the Berlin bus depot. We're in the centre of Berlin at the moment, and the map you'll see here is the route we're taking. So all the way through the centre of Berlin, which is nice. You'll get to see some of the city and the graphics that have been done. They are good. I genuinely think they are very good graphics, personally. From going from other simulation games, they are good, but there is still a lot of work to do on it. Still a lot of work to do, which again is understandable. What I would say is during the gameplay, the drivers of the other vehicles are extremely aggressive in terms of they do not stop. And I don't know if that's an issue with the game itself, or it's something they're working on, or is it generally that they're going to make the drivers in Berlin that aggressive? Because a lot of them will just crash into you. They won't stop at all. So anyway, we're at our first stop at Alexanderplatz. So these people will just board the bus nice and easily, and we can crack on. So we're just in the centre of Berlin at the moment, in Alexanderplatz, heading now to our next stop. We'll use this bus lane for now. Good thing about Berlin, they have bus lanes all the way through the main centre. But yeah, we'll have a little explore and see what I really like. You can see on the left hand side there the graffiti on the pillars of the bridge. You get really nice bits of detail like that in the game. You also get, what I really like, the actual brand names of certain companies. So for example, in a minute, I think it's in a minute, we'll pass Lidl, and with the actual real sign, you'll pass billboards. See what I mean about the aggressiveness of the drivers? So there is no stopping. They do not stop. So you have to be so careful. And I think that must be something they're working on, because it is quite bad. So for example, on the right now you can see the golden arches of McDonald's. Just to our top left there, you see them. So I like how they've used proper brands. Nice to see, because that doesn't happen a lot in simulation games. So I imagine they must have got the copyright for the companies. Well, you hope. You hope, anyway. Okay, so it's Spandauer Straße, Marienkirche. I apologise if I'm ruining these pronunciations. So some will ask for a ticket. So this lady now has asked for a single AB ticket. So Alpha Bravo ticket. And all we do here is literally take the money she just put down on there. So she wants a single ticket AB. So click single ticket AB and then bar. That will produce a ticket she will take and she will go. Again, so another one for a single ticket. Print the ticket, take the change, take the money and gone. Sometimes you do have to give change. But it's rare because a lot of people have the right change, thank God. Anyway, so what they haven't got in this game, which is strange, is the car brands. So for example, I think the Skodas in this are called random Skoda names. So you'll get the actual model of the car rather than the actual Skoda being on there. So for example, you get a Kodiaq Octavia, the model of the car being a Kodiaq, the make of the car being Kodiaq, and the model being an Octavia, which obviously there is nothing as that. They're two different make and models of cars. Well, as I say, what I like is the Samsung here. Look at that. Samsung, so Samsung must have some sort of interest in this game, because the Apple phones are not on it. They have a pair on it, which is proper random, isn't it? It's like a picture of an iPhone with a pair on, so they must have not got Apple involved. But Samsung are, as you see from the two massive billboards to the left. So this is what the game is about. It is literally for driving around, collecting passengers, exploring Berlin in all of its glory, and enjoying the city while trying to compete and deal with the aggressive drivers in Berlin that don't seem to stop for anything. But I like it. I mean, what do you want from a simulation game? That's what you've got to ask yourself. What do you want from a simulation game? I know what I want. I want a game that is realistic. I want a game where I'm challenged. I want a game where I feel like I am doing the role that the simulator, of the task I'm doing. So for example, if I'm in flight sim, I like to imagine, with all the things you have to do, that was a bit wide, sorry. I like to think that you know, with the skills you learn, it's really... That's interesting. I think we just hit a bit of a glitch. Anyway, yeah, I want to think, like, yeah, I've learned this. I've learned how to do an ILS landing on Flight Sim. For example, on this one, I like the fact that it's quite realistic in terms of the graphics. I love that. Makes you feel like you're sitting in the driver's seat of this bus, in a way, and exploring the city. And I think, especially during lockdown, I know this is going to sound a bit bizarre, going to new places and seeing things is actually like one of the most amazing things about simulation games, I think. And I think that's why they've been so popular. They've always been popular, don't get me wrong, but I feel like in lockdown, more people I've seen been playing simulation games, maybe to escape a little bit of being in the house, you know, 24/7, or maybe the stresses that life is bringing at the moment during these times where COVID is around. I don't know. But as I say, this is it. This is the bus. It doesn't get more or less difficult than this. You drive around, you collect passengers, they pay, and you explore the city. But I like it. I really do. Would I recommend you buying this game? That's an interesting one. It's an interesting question, that. Would I recommend you buying it? What I would recommend, and this is my honest opinion, if you want to get it, it's on Steam, relatively cheap. I think it's like maybe 19 to 21 pounds currently on Steam to download. I would, if I was you, probably wait until they release some more different things on the game. So for example, we looked at the start about the multiplayer, the ability to create different modifications and do different modifications to your bus, the ability to manage a bus company. I would wait for that, really, before I was to spend my money on it, personally. But if you do want to have a bit of time, have a chill, enjoy a bit of something different, enjoy the fact that what this game is what it says, you know, it's a solid, not massively like stressful bus simulator. And I find myself, when I'm on it, being very much like escaping for a little bit, and I don't know why that is, but it's a nice feeling. Anyway, I will let you enjoy some of the gameplay rather than hearing my voice constantly. What I would say, lastly, is with regards to the actual gameplay itself, is when you select. So now you get, as you can see, it's foggy in Berlin, but I find the fog actually really, it makes it look like the graphics are a bit poor. It doesn't really look like fog, I don't think. Just looks a little bit milky. So this is a classic example where you've got to give change to someone. They've given me €4 and I've got to give them back 20 cents for an ABC single ticket. Oh, actually, I think it is 380. Yeah, 380 it is. So yeah, nothing needed to give back. Oh yeah, 20 cents. There you go. My quick maths let me down there. What I also find is, and this might just be actually a general, like, look at the graffiti here. How good's this? Really nice additions, because Berlin is genuinely full of quirky graffiti everywhere. I think due to the fact that it's quite a historic city with some troubled past potentially, and a lot of the graffiti shows the struggles that maybe the people in Berlin have gone through over the years, as well as like modern influences in the city as well. I went to Berlin about 3 years ago and really enjoyed it. It was a very, very nice city to go and visit and would recommend it. Very different to anywhere I've been. But you can kind of get an idea now of how the drivers are on this game. Not the best. We have got one full bus here. Let's have a look at this bus a minute. I'm surprised there's any space. Look at this, how full this is. You can see what I mean about the people. Struggling a little bit with ideas, I think, when they were designing these people on the developers. But I suppose that will come over time. There's a Lidl I was talking to you about, and it's situations like this where you think, like, how on earth are you meant to get a bus through here in this part of the city? It's crazy. Some of the roads that you go through in Berlin are especially in the 18-meter Scania. That is a beautiful building there. Look at that. So yeah, in the 18-meter Scania. So the Scania's got one of those like the sheath things, you know, that connects two buses together. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard going. It tests you. It tests your ability to drive. I'll tell you that. I think a wheel definitely would be a great addition. Having a wheel on this would be a really good addition. Making great time. That is another thing actually about this game. Now, I don't believe there's any penalty for being late on the route. Now, do you know when you are on like Euro Truck Simulator 2, for example, and you are late, you get penalised, but you don't get all the money? There is no penalty for being late on the route on this game, which I think they need to add, because it gives a bit more incentive for you to get to the next stop and the final stop on time. So I think that should be added. Is one thing I would say. And we'll feedback. See the tram lines now. Berlin's got quite a like a vast tram system. Really good city to navigate around, you know, transport-wise as well, which is nice. You got all these rear mirrors, which is quite nice. You can see kind of all around you how many people in the back. Are they sat down? Are they comfortable? That brings me on to another point actually that I forgot to mention. It is, so you can turn up the air conditioning in the bus, and you can, you know, add some bits to make the journey more comfortable. But there's no way the passenger's ever letting you know whether that is if they are happy or sad. So I think something where the passengers could actually tell you, a bit like self-loading cargo on Flight Simulator. If you've never seen that, that basically is a system that that allows you to get feedback from the passengers about how your journey is and how your flying's been and how the service has been. I think that'd be a great addition to this game, is to have some sort of customer satisfaction type service. Kind of see us on the map here, the route we're taking it all the way out of the city to the main bus depot, where you actually start the route on Route 1. So currently only the two routes at the moment in Berlin, and they are both the same, but reverse. Those beeps, if you hear those beeps, that's basically the passengers asking you that they want to be coming off at the next stop, and you'll see someone move and come off now, imagine. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, these bus lanes for a bus are pretty special. For drivers, I imagine they're a nightmare, but for bus drivers, absolute onto a winner if you get into a bus lane. I streamed this game this morning, by the way. I'm very early on in my YouTube video career, but I do stream on Facebook under Hey John Boy Gaming. If you do want to follow, please take a look. I do only really play and stream simulation games, primarily Euro Truck Simulator, Flight Sim, and Train Sim World 2. Be great if you could check that out if you're into simulation games. But yeah, I streamed it this morning. I was interested to see the reaction of people that watch me. So I have a good following. I have 12,000 followers nearly on Facebook, and get, you know, relatively high numbers in watching. And I was interested to see the reaction of people watching this game and me streaming it. Obviously it was mixed, as you can imagine. Some people just don't understand, maybe, like, what a simulation game is kind of meant to be about, really. And I think they find it boring. And do you know what? Fair enough. If that is the case, then that is totally up to them, and it's their their choice and their opinion, which I respect. But other people were really interested in it and were interested in the game itself. I know a couple of them have downloaded it and purchased it to give it a go that were watching. Is it a game that I would stream now? Absolutely not, because it's very limited in what kind of you can do on it. Would I stream it once it has all of the bits added to it? Absolutely, yeah. Make a career of it, you know, work your way up, get a couple of buses under you. Absolutely, I think that'd be amazing. Explore more cities, yeah, that's perfect, but not at the moment. But that isn't, again, it's not designed for that at the moment. It is very much an early access product that is just wanting us to feedback, try it, and see what we think. As you see, my ability to drive is somewhat flawed sometimes. I do struggle, and this is no excuse, but I struggle massively on my controller to steer this. I don't know why that is. Doesn't make sense. I think on the turn, it might be me misjudging and not being having a full view of the front of the bus. But I find the turning very, very sensitive. It's either sensitive or not at all. It's a bit weird. I don't really know why. But after getting used to it, I mean, you should have seen it the first time I tried it. My word. So we're coming at Chermstars, are just making our way up towards the main bus depot in Berlin. Coming out of the city actually. So we've been in the city. Making our way up to the main bus depot just north of the city. Actually turning right here, so this would be a good test for the old bus. Not bad, not bad. We need to get in this lane. You have to be quite aggressive in this game, chat. You have to be quite aggressive. Because otherwise you get forced off the road. I think the aim is just to pull out, basically. If I could ever think of one, that must be the aim. As you can see, you have to have your wits about you, basically, to play this game. Constantly on edge. As you would be, I suppose, if you're driving in a real city. I've driven in many cities around Europe, in English cars and renter cars, and I tell you what, sometimes I've been petrified driving in some of them. This taxi, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Honestly, like that car then. That car, did you see that? Absolutely unbelievable. I've never played a game like it. It's like the whole, apart from Destruction Derby, which the aim of the game is actually to wreck each other's car, or GTA or something like that. But never ever been in a passenger bus simulator where cars are just ramming into you. Okay, so unlike the, I would say, not too far away from the actual end location, which is the main bus depot in Berlin. How many passengers are on board? Yeah, we've got a few still, haven't we? They'll be, I'm sure, jumping off before we get to the end of the line. I feel like this game, with the right additions, could be quite spectacular, and really is giving something more to bus simulation games, like your flight simulators. It's adding that little bit more to them, because I think they need that. I think they need it. I think they need amazing graphics. I think they need like exciting routes. I think they need the ability to own a company, make money from it. I think they are all things that makes this game even more exciting. And I can't wait for that. And the ability to have some ownership over your bus and have, you know, liveries on the side. You can modify your bus to make it whatever you want. You know, you can add bits in it. Would all be amazing. And they are coming. They are coming. We just don't know when. We just don't know when. Hello there. Hello. Any tickets? Tickets, please. Absolutely none. We've got one full bus. I imagine that the bus will never get full, surely. I imagine that it's done in a way where people will always come off to make space for others. You'd think. I don't know, I'd be interested to get your opinion on it. If you are watching this video and have an opinion on this game and watched it and want to leave some feedback, what your thoughts are, just pop it in the comments underneath the video. I'll always get back to you, because I'm really keen to know what you think. I was lucky. Yeah, I'm really keen to know your thoughts. And more of these videos are to come. I'm trying to do as many as I can to give a bit of a different side. As a Facebook streamer, currently streaming live on Facebook, as I am a full-time streamer, so what I do as my full-time job is I stream. I'm a streamer and create content. I also help other people get into streaming, so I help people that want to become streamers, primarily on Facebook at the moment, get into that. I offer one-to-one consultations, I offer ebooks to help them out, because it's a great career and it allows me to work for myself and entertain people, which I love doing. I absolutely love it. I love chatting to people, I love getting to know people, I love to entertain people. So that's where my passion lies, and streaming is just perfect for myself. So if you are interested in that, genuinely want to start streaming as a career yourself, please just reach out. Either go on the Facebook page, Hey John Boy Gaming, go onto my website, which is www.heyjohnboygaming.com. There you will find my ebooks that are on sale, my one-to-one sessions, which you can book in with myself. You'll also find a bit about me. You'll find out my setup. You'll find out my recommended setups as well, and a lot more. But as we're getting to near the end of our journey, I have to do, because I do this in everything in life, a plus and negative of this game. Whenever you are in a difficult situation or need to make a decision, my advice is always make a plus and negative list of whatever that decision is, as long as it's nothing against the law. Yeah, I'd always recommend it. Pluses, let's start on a positive. The pluses of this game. I personally think, and I know some people have actually criticised the graphics, I think the graphics are pretty good. I think they have got them nearly spot on. There's obviously some work that can be done. Some of the trees, if you notice, when you approach them, they change from a lighter colour to a darker colour, and I know that could be to do with shading. That's maybe normal, but that's just a minor thing. The people are overall good. You know, they get out the phones, they do nice little things like that. They try and make it a bit more realistic. They chat to each other. You don't hear any ambience though, you don't hear any noise from them, which would be nice to hear. The driving itself is only difficult for myself, I think, because I'm on an Xbox controller. I don't have a wheel at this moment in time. I don't have a steering wheel. So actually, the driving itself is actually pretty good. If you had the right equipment, or we're using even keyboard and mouse, I would say, yeah, do you know what? Pretty good. The graphics of the city is pretty much spot on. I've been to Berlin a couple of times, and I would say it's pretty spot on. They've done a really nice job. The graffiti on the walls, I just really like it. Adds a bit of something to it. Overall, a lot of pluses, really. Negatives. The negative sides. What are my negatives? I mentioned a few. I would love to see the new updates and the new additions, like the modifications. I would love to see the ability to play with other people, the ability to manage a company and how that looks would be really interesting. The ability to have other maps, amazing. That would be great. I would love to see the driving of the other road users slightly dimmed down, so it's not as aggressive. They do at this moment in time just crash into you for no, even when it's your right of way. So that would be amazing if that could be sorted. I think we want to go up this one. Yeah, we do. It's a work in progress. That's what I will say. It's a work in progress, which is a very good starting point. And for me, when the changes and the modifications have been done, it will have everything that you could ever want, I think, from this type of simulator, a bus simulator. As I said to you, would I buy it now? Would I buy it if I was you now? Would I buy it now? That's a really good question. Probably not. Probably not. I think the main reasons for that are just for the pure fact that I think that you want a bit more. You want a bit more for the money you're paying. I know it's not a lot, but you want a little bit more and a little bit more addition to the game. So I'd recommend us holding out until the changes have come in. But if you want it, I'll put the link to where you can get it on the in the bio. I'll also put a link to my website. If you're interested in becoming a streamer yourself, please take a look. I'm more than happy to help you and try and support you the best I can to get you to a stage where you can leave your job or whatever you're doing to make this a career if it's something that you're interested in. I did it. I am a living example and a proof that it can be done. It can be done. It's hard, don't get me wrong, but isn't any job sometimes? I think that most jobs can be difficult, but you are totally accountable for yourself, which is nice. So I think our next stop will be our final one. And I'll have to love you and leave you for today. We'll be doing another video. I think the next one we're actually doing is going to be on Tram Sim, which is a As it says on the tin, a tram simulator featured in Vienna. And I'm hoping to do that one this week at some point as well. So you'll see that popping up very soon. That'll be exactly the same, me trying it out and giving my honest opinion of what I think of it. As someone who is a simulator fanatic, really, which I say I was. But also someone who streams live on Facebook, I think it's good that you get the opinions of everyone. There's loads of amazing reviews out there about these types of games, but I think it's important that you get kind of like a varied opinion, so you can make your own mind up, whether this is the right thing for you. I think I'm actually going to have to do a U-turn here, you know. I have a feeling. Maybe. Interesting. Maybe not. I think our next stop should be coming up any minute on our right hand side. Don't really know what this car's doing. It's all over the shop. Do you know what? We'll call it a day there. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. As I say, I'll put my the link to my Facebook page in the bio below. Check it out, have a look, see what you think. I'll also put a link to my website and also where you can get this simulator from, should you want to buy it now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you very soon for another review by Hey John Boy Gaming. See ya.